This is what I call real world testing. The power station is powering the freezer that is freezing it. In this video, I'm reviewing this product, and I'm also going to give you the information you need when purchasing a power station. Don't want to waste a good flavor. So this is the Power Bank 2000 from Project Solar. It's a 2000 watt inverter. It's a 2000 watt hour battery, and it is legit. Came with two of those. The DC port for car charging, the DC port for the wall, and two MC4 solar panel ports. No. AC unit, no. Dryer, no. Washer machine, maybe. Washing machine, yes. Basically, any appliance in your home, you're able to run off of like 2000 watts. It seems like the bigger ones might need more like 1000 to 1500, and a lot of the smaller ones are 100, 200 watts, like a TV or a computer or something like that. What you can't run with this power station is any 240 appliances, like ovens, electric ovens, and dryers, and AC units have different plugs. They don't just have 120, they have 240 ran to them. You cannot power any of those loads. The other caution is a lot of these bigger loads you can't power two at the same time. You're not gonna be able to run the microwave and the coffee maker. And there's a lot of appliances too that you can run that you probably didn't think you could run, like your furnace. Your furnace could actually be wired to a plug and be plugged into this device and ran. If you have a gas furnace, that means you could heat your home using the gas, and all the power station has to do is kind of run the fan and run the controls. One of the most important things when it comes to batteries is thermal characteristics. When they get too hot, they don't work, and then when they get too cold, they don't work. Not only independently when batteries get hot or cold do they lose efficiency, but the battery management system may also rev down the output of the battery or shut it off altogether, saying that it's unsafe to use. I have left it in below freezing overnight for several days to come out to relatively the same charge level and be able to use it immediately without any issues. Space heaters in general, inductive loads like a hot plate, a baseboard heat, electric heaters, anything like that uses a absurd amount of continuous power. Right now, it's just under 1500 watts that this little space heater is running. I have the space heater blowing heat into the air intake for the battery. I would not recommend testing this because batteries are explosive and dangerous. So you can see on the air outtake, the high on there seems to be about 111 degrees. The space heater, that's hot. Those elements inside there are like 300 to 600 degrees. So I'm getting a beeping. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the AC outputs on it. So it just gave me a warning saying that it was overheating. It didn't cut off, but I assume it would cut off. Let's go ahead and check out the temperature. That's the problem right there, is heating up on the intake side. Looks like the high is at 130. I don't know why that looks so hot. I already like the thermal characteristics of this battery. It seems to do well in cold situations and hot situations. So the battery chemistry inside of this is lithium iron phosphate. If you're new to this, this is what you need to know. There's different types of batteries, and there's different subtypes of batteries. This battery is the safest, longest lasting, like not most capacity, but most cycles, and the most sustainable form of battery that we currently have in mass production. Also, I gotta charge my phone. There's a lot of power stations on the market that are like under the 1000 watt range, 100 watt to 700 watt. It just seems like it's not enough power. You can charge your computer and your cell phone and your monitor, any small electronics. But if you want to run any big household appliances off grid, I feel comfortable with this unit. If there was an extended power outage with the amount of solar panels that I just have, at any time because they're being installed, I would be able to have the bare necessities to function. I would be able to heat my home. I'd be able to power my electronics. I'd even be able to do a load of laundry and cook food with it. All right, so this battery costs like $1,500. I've seen it more like $1,600 and maybe under $1,400. I'll include a link below to buy this version of this battery, all the accessories and everything. So I do make commission off that link. So if you like this battery, you buy it. I do make money, and I appreciate you supporting my channel. That I purchased this with my own money because I checked it out and it was exactly what I needed for construction. It's a 2,000 watt hour battery with a 2,000 watt inverter. The inverter is supposed to be able to surge up to 4,000 watts. The battery is the gas tank. The inverter is the engine. So the inverter can output 2,000 watts continuous. The battery is 2,000 watt hours. So it could run at 2,000 watts for an hour. They make additional battery packs for this. You can buy 2 more 3,000 watt hour batteries. That doesn't increase the engine size. That's just putting more fuel in the tank. So you can get up to an 8 kilowatt hour battery, which is extremely impressive. You're talking about like comparable with first generation Tesla Powerwalls. I specifically bought this power station because a lot of times I'll be traveling to job sites and I'll need to charge up my power tool batteries. The sunlight is charging the Milwaukee battery, and then whenever the air compressor gets low, it kicks on and it pulls about 1,500 watts. Right now it's at 56%, so I'm curious if the solar panel can charge the battery enough to offset the amount of electricity that the air compressor is using and my other tools, and charge the battery so that at the end of the day I got at least, close to a full charge. I was able to build the entire roof. The solar panel has produced enough electricity to power air compressor, charge the battery, I saw all of that, and then charge this battery an additional 15%, which it's a 2,000 watt hour battery, and it's producing 200 watts. It's not really feasible for one panel, producing 200 watts to produce 2,000 watt hours, because you'd need about 10 hours of 200 watts, and we'll probably get 4 or 5 good sun hours today. It is cool that it produced all the electricity I needed for this project, and topped off the battery a little bit just with one panel. I have a second DC input port where I could put 2 solar panels on it, and in that situation I would be able to run everything and charge the battery in a day. The other application that you consider is they actually make a transfer switch that can be installed next to your sub panel. So a lot of people will use these for generators, for backup power. But what's interesting about this one is I have a 2,000 watt solar inverter with some batteries, and I can actually plug this unit in to the transfer switch and backup loads in the house. Like, lots of people have done something similar for having a generator hookup on the side of their house, but there's a lot of benefits to going with a battery system. For one, it can be indoors because you have no emissions. 2, you don't have to buy fuel for it. You can set up solar panels and charge the battery. You're not going to be able to run anything crazy like air conditioners or dryers or ovens. You're limited to 2,000 watts and 120 volts. During a power outage, there's a lot of inconveniences that you have, such as not being able to open your garage door, not being able to work from home and use your Wi-Fi. Depending on how you set up this system, you have a lot of options to be able to power a lot of things. It's a pretty clean, simple, affordable option. And you can wire in some of the loads from your sub panel to the transfer switch. And when the power goes out, all you do is plug in the power bank to the transfer switch and switch over the loads to the generator, the power bank, and you can power the basic loads throughout your house and use your receptacles, use your lights, use whatever's wired to it. So 1, it does better with thermal runaway testing, impact testing. 2, it is known to last a really long time. You can cycle and cycle and cycle loads through it without having significant decrease in output. 3, there are a lot of rare earth minerals that are not in this battery that are extremely controversial. Cobalt mines and other minerals that we get that seem to be gained in very unethical ways. What's the drawback? It's heavy. In general, whether it's in a vehicle with these batteries, a large solar battery with this type of cells, they're a lot heavier. And so that is something that's a hurdle when using like transportation or using these batteries in electric vehicles. The DC inputs on this battery for the solar panels will take like 30 to 90 volts and anywhere from 300 to 600 watts, which is absolutely insane. And they have a full diagram on how to set up different variations of solar panels with this. What I liked is I could take a real solar panel, one that you would actually install on a home, and connect it to this device. A typical solar panel on a commercial building or a house is a lot higher voltage. They're not 12 volt or 24 volt, they're like 40 to 50. And so I can take like a full size solar panel and power it, and it has dual inputs. So I can take two full size high quality solar panels and input it into this battery. Now, the next thing that blows my mind is when you add an expansion pack. The expansion pack has a port for solar charge. So you're actually able to take another solar panel and plug it into the expansion pack. And you're setting up a situation where you're able to actually charge this device from the sun effectively. That is not comparable with other products on the market. The solar charge capacity is awesome. Thank you for checking out this video and supporting my channel. I would love to get off of the roofs and share with you guys the things that I've learned over the last 10 years designing, installing, repairing, and testing solar panel and battery systems. If you're interested in buying these products, check out the links below. I do make a commission that supports me. If anything, like and subscribe the video, maybe share it with a friend. I'm really trying to grow these channels so that I can create the highest quality content in this space.